The 2026 Volvo V60 cross-country B5 all-wheel drive mild hybrid ultra in Aurora silver over blonde Napa leather. This is the only wagon that we receive from Volvo. 7 different exterior colors, 3 different interior colors, 1 powertrain. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle. We lost the Polestar last year, so they don't have any performance. But with Volvo, it's pretty unique because this is a luxury adventure wagon all blended in. And when you're looking at categories that go against this, starting at a $53,000-ish MSRP, there isn't really a lot because Audi and Mercedes is going to be more expensive. Even though you get more power, it's not really going to make sense when you're going into a base trim because you're just really looking to get quick speeds, which Volvo ticks the box of that. Great MPGs, Volvo ticks the box of that. In the wagon, so it's a little bit more practical for the day in and day out. It also ticks the box for that. Up front, you're getting the Thor LED daytime runnings, LED headlights that integrate into the cross-country mesh grille with the chrome surrounding it because this is the ultra trim. The lower gets the LED fog lights. You're gonna have the matte black surrounding it and the whole lower trim. The reason why they do this is because it needs that rugged profile. It widens out the front, so it still has that luxury and dynamic styling in the front and giving us 8.1 inches of ground clearance. So now you've ticked the box to a vehicle opposed to an SUV, because Volvo gives you this. Underneath the hood is gonna house 2.0 liter turbocharged direct injection engine. It's a 4-cylinder, an integrated starter generator with 13 horsepower. That gives us a combined of 247 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, compared to an 8-speed Geartronic automatic transmission, achieving 23 MPGs for the city, 31 MPGs for the highway. And now the beauty about this system, getting a mild hybrid, a turbocharged and a 4-cylinder, is you're getting optimal power that's underneath there. It's also helping with the auto start stop system, so you get better MPGs, and it's a more seamless drive, so you don't even notice it going on and off. But one thing that is going to happen, at least for North America, is they have changed the ruling. So in the next coming years, you're going to see that auto start stop system going away. But it's still increasing the total net power underneath the hood. Going ultra, you're going to get these 19-inch wheels. It starts off as an 18-inch wheel, satin aluminum on the lower with the cross-country badging. You'll still get the matte black that's going to run on the lower skirt. It also goes around the fender so it bulges out. Again, giving that dominant stance, but the off-roadsy appearance. Towing up to 2,000 pounds. The roof rails, you can put 165 pounds. You have integrated LED lights that's going to be underneath the door handles, as well as power folding side view mirrors. They're heated with the integrated LED light. And safety is taken care of with the blind spot system, steering assist, cross traffic with collision avoidance. That includes low and high speed collision mitigation. It detects vehicles, pedestrians, cyclists, large animals, oncoming mitigation by braking, lane keeping aid, forward collision warning, post impact braking. And one of my favorite features is, God forbid you get into an accident, it will auto unlock all the doors so it make it easier to get out. The V90, it unlocks safety, it unlocks style, it unlocks MPGs, and it still has performance back, reaching 60 at 6.6 seconds. Vertical LED tail lights. The lower is going to carry on with the matte black, reverse parking sensors with the 360-degree reverse camera. I think the Scandinavians nailed it with the minimalistic look on the exterior and even going that extra step in the interior, and also giving us a option opposed to an SUV, and one of the best in class for pricing compared to Audi, Mercedes, and anybody that it would compete against. But let me know which way you would go in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe if you haven't already. Click the like button because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. Power release going into 50.5 cubic feet of storage. Now this privacy cover is actually pretty cool because you can adjust it upwards like this, so that way you could still keep it private in the interior of the vehicle, or you can just simply open it up to reveal the bag holders on both sides. Underneath the floor gets a spare tire. The 12 volt is because we're in the ultra trim, but this is 2026. I wish it was a home plug, but you can let me know your thoughts on that. LED interior lights, and you get another little storage pocket here. From front to back, we're at 40 inches, plus you have a little pass through there. From side to side at 40.5 inches. Unfortunately, you have to go to the back, and this is a wagon. This is something that all wagons should not have, where you have to come back here to fold it at a 40-60 split. There should be a lever in the back to maximize that 60.5 cubic feet, but you do have over 6 feet from front to back at 73 inches. The opening is at 40.5 inches from side to side, and we have 30 inches from top to bottom. 247 horsepower. And 258 pound-feet of torque. If you're thinking it's not enough, I think it is enough. Maneuverability, the steering is kind of light, so there's not a lot of feedback in it. But the performance line, I think they do an excellent job because they capture what you really need for a day in and day out, and it's not like a boring vehicle. Braking on the vehicle, I'm gonna do some hard braking right here. And you can stop on a dime. Turn radius at a stop point. It's about almost 3 lanes. Let's rock and roll. Now, the beauty about the performance that you're getting unlocked here is you're still capturing pretty darn good MPGs, and it's a smooth ride with 19-inch wheels, fully independent suspension, 8.1 inches of clearance, so it's literally like an SUV, but this is a wagon. So for those people that are tall like me, or if you have some back problems, I also do as well, I have some herniations, getting in and out of this is actually easier than a sedan. So I definitely appreciate that because it gives me another option when I'm looking for my next vehicle. Sound deadening is excellent. You barely hear anything. The sound system itself, with 660 watts, it doesn't sound like a lot, but the way these 13 speakers are pinned around the interior, it just, you know, I'm not going to keep saying pros. We're going to go into some cons with the vehicle. Everything is derived through the touchscreen. You only really have 2 screens for the gauge cluster. I would prefer this to just be an analog screen. You have to go into the Ultra to get the heads-up display, to get the crystal knob, to get the quad climate control and heated rear seats. You're going to also have to tick the box to the climate package. Nappa leather, that's only going to come on this trim. And we lost the V90, which is a big complaint to me, only because I like having a little bit more space in the interior. They do a decent job carving it out. The cushion extensions are good, but they don't necessarily cover up everything, making my knees still sit up in the air. For a long journey, it's not gonna be uncomfortable because I can rest on the sides, but it would be a little bit more comfortable if they just tailored it a little bit more for your power seat adjustments. Massage seats, you don't get that at this price point. Usually with Volvo, you start unlocking it. That's definitely a con to me. And there isn't any home plugs in this vehicle. You only have 4 USB ports, 1 and 2 12-volt chargers, which, like I was saying on the interior, I rented a Geely M Grand in Dubai a few weeks back, and it only had 1 charging port. I think they need to really start thinking about this design a little bit better because this is a family wagon. You're gonna have at least 4 to 5 people in here. I have 5 in my family. So the other issue that comes into play is sitting somebody in the center. You have that big hump because of the powertrain. That auto start stop system is very seamless. You don't even feel it cut on and off. So I really do appreciate that because they do a lot better job than Audi and Mercedes. I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't really benefit the vehicle as much as a disadvantage to the vehicle. Now for your day in and day out drive, you're really only going to be hitting about 2.5 RPMs. But if you want it to be pretty motivated and start passing people, start hitting the 3 RPM and the vehicle just takes off. Dynamically speaking though, you're not going to take bends on the road with this. The Germans will handle a lot better, plus it's a more close to a 50-50 weight distribution. This is heavier than the competition, but this is also priced a lot less than the competition. So what you're getting as a total value, it is really hard to say this is not the best deal in class, especially if you are cross-shopping between an SUV and a wagon, because in North America, we don't really have a lot of them. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here, and I'd like to thank our friends here at Crown Volvo.